Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Minutemen podcast. Thanks for joining me here on Tuesday. I'm your host, Tanner Kirk, and the Patriots are on fire. The Patriots are on fire. They have just won 9 games in a row after they took down the Bengals on Sunday night. The score was 26-20. Patriots are now 10-2. The Bengals are now 3-8. And it was a thriller, to say the least. Man, where to even begin? First of all, I thought Drake Maye became the resurrection of Mac Jones for just a small little bit of the first quarter. But he did rise again. Drake Maye came back in full Drake Maye form, making crazy throws. Nice touchdown to Hunter Henry. And yeah, he threw a pick. But even when he throws a pick, he throws touchdowns still. Hey. But yeah, it was a sloppy game, to say the least. Drake Maye didn't look like himself. Ramondre Stevenson came back. Didn't really get many rushing yards. He rushed for 5 yards on 6 carries. Most of those carries on the goal line. And if you watched the game, you saw us get stopped on the goal line about 7 times. About 6 or 7 times. 6, 7. Which, so we had all 4 downs at the goal line. And then, there was a DPI. So we get the ball back, reset our downs. And then it was like on 3rd down, threw a touchdown to Hunter Henry. But, oops, it got called back. Got called back because Mac Hollins, he got called for offensive pass interference, so that negated the touchdown. And then we run 2 times in a row and get stuffed both times. Went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Could have kicked the field goal, didn't do it. You'd think they would kick the field goal after 8 failed attempts, but I'm not Mike Vrabel. He likes to be aggressive. He tried to be aggressive. It didn't work out. It just didn't work out. But Drake Maye was 22 of 35, threw for 294 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, which was an interception. Obviously, it was an interception. I mean, it was a pick 6. Travion Henderson, the Drake Maye of running backs. 66 yards, looked decent, averaged 3.7 yards a carry. So that was something. Hunter Henry over 100 yards, had 115 and a touchdown. Austin Hooper played a good amount, looked pretty good, helped us out a little bit. Stephon Diggs, a little quieter of a game, but he did pull off the cornerbacks to let our other guys open up like Hunter Henry. Kyle Williams had a catch in there. Probably should have utilized him more, as well as Kayshon Boutte. We tried to get Boutte involved. 2 touchdowns got wiped out or 2 would-be touchdowns were uncatchable because of defensive pass interference. So Kayshon Boutte could have had 2 touchdowns, but they both got he got held. So what can you do? What can you do? At the end of the game, though, Carlton Davis, man, he was all over the field. He was swatting balls left and right. He was playing great. And Joe Flacco also threw a pick six, which was nice. Marcus Jones ran it back for a touchdown. I think that's our first pick six of the season, so that's cool. Chase Brown, the Bengals running back, had 107 rushing yards against us, and that is, you can feel the difference without Milton Williams, and he was just put on IR, so he's out for minimum 4 games. This was his first game, I believe he was out, and yeah, you can feel it. The Pats defense can definitely feel his absence. Milton Williams, he was Gorlock the Destroyer on the defensive line. He was insane, powerful, big man, strong, blocked really well. But hopefully he'll be coming back. Hopefully, pretty soon. But yeah, as well. Also, what's his name? Kyrus Tonga, one of our defensive tackles. Also a big guy, heavy hitter. Sometimes we sub him in on the offensive line or maybe put him in fullback if we're at the goal line trying to run, which we should have done earlier. But he did get hurt, which is a downside. A lot of injuries this game. It was like every 2 or 3 minutes there was an injury timeout, whether it was a Pats player or a Bengals player. Lots and lots of injuries. And one of the injuries was Will Campbell. The other was Jared Wilson. And the other, which was a non-serious one, which was Morgan Moses, I think he just had to go poop. So he said, my tummy hurts. And so he went to the bathroom, pooped, came back to the game, and played. So it's good that he's not seriously hurt. And it's funny because the graphic they had up was Morgan Moses questionable to return with an illness, which was just a stomach ache, pretty much. There's really nothing else it could be, because you don't just get randomly sick for like 20 minutes. But he did come back. He is good. But Will Campbell and Jared Wilson, they're not considered to be long-term injuries. I saw that they're getting MRIs tomorrow to determine that. But it looks, the positive side of this news is that they'll at least be back in time for the start of playoffs, which will be cool. They probably just sprained something. I know Jared Wilson, ankle. Will Campbell, I think, knee. Something with his leg, maybe his foot. I'm not really too sure. But yeah, so the Pats won 10 games for the first time since 2021, which was when we had Mac Jones. That year we finished 10-7. So already we have just as many wins as that year. That is the year that we got first rounded by the Bills in Buffalo, so I'd like to forget that and move on. The Pats have also won 9 straight games, as you know, which is the first time since 2015. 2015. That is 10 years ago. So for the first time in 10 years, the Pats have won 9 games in a row. So that's very impressive. So good job on especially the coaching staff. That's a big coaching accomplishment to win that many games in a row. Also, Drake Maye playing really good this year. MVP caliber season, as we're always saying. But dude, speaking of MVP, Matt Stafford, he is actually insane. Matt Stafford. If you haven't watched the Rams game, watch their next game they play, because Matt Stafford is playing really well. Really, really well. I don't think he's thrown a pick in a long time. It's like since week 3 or something since he's thrown a pick, which is crazy. So, yeah, I think it's going to be close competition between Stafford and Drake. But I really hope Drake Maye beats him out and wins the MVP, because that would be really cool for him. One of the only second-year players to win MVP. It'll put him in line with Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, some other players that I can't remember right now. But he's having a good season so far. He's got over 3,000 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, 6 picks, sacked 37 times, which is 3 more times than he was sacked all of last year when he played. But he is performing a lot better than he was last year. So that is a plus. He's improved very quickly as well. Like, not many players in 1 year drastically improve their footwork, throwing mechanics, pocket awareness, accuracy, all in one off season. And each week he just gets better and better. So it's very crazy how fast he's improved. And I just want to take a quick intermittent break here. This episode of the Minutemen podcast is sponsored by who other than myself. Okay. If you go to this YouTube page, if you go to the Minutemen podcast YouTube page, right next to where it says subscribe, or hopefully right next to where it says subscribe, because hopefully you have clicked that button. If not, you should. And within a couple days after being subscribed, you will have access to the Minutemen podcast community page. And that button will be found right next to the subscribed button. And once you visit the community page, it will pull up a new page where you can interact with the Minutemen podcast community. It's pretty much like a big forum, so you can ask me questions, you can interact with other listeners of the podcast and talk to them. You can set up polls, you can set up it's pretty much just like a big chat. And that's all there is to it. You want to talk to the audience, you want to talk to myself, you can post in there. I do try to make a post every week just to try to engage with the subscribers, the Minutemen. But we'll see how far that goes. Want it to be a little more interactive with the viewers, with the listeners. So yeah, there is that. And I mean, speaking of updates, may as well say, get it? Okay. So I would like to try to live stream. I'm not sure of doing like a live stream show, like doing a show live. Not sure I'd want to do that yet. Maybe in the future. 'Cause the more I get the hang of doing this, the smoother I go. So maybe I get to the point that I can do it live. Who knows? We'll see in the future when that time comes. Anyways, like I was saying, I'd like to do some live streams. And maybe in those live streams I play some games. Maybe I play some Madden. I mean, it'd probably mostly be Madden. Let's be honest. Maybe I do like a franchise rebuild. Maybe I just do online head-to-head. So, whatever I end up doing, it'll be live. And I will put in the community page when it'll be. And that'll give you some time to go ahead and put a remind yourself to watch and or listen, depends what I'm doing, so you guys can enjoy the content. And I'll probably not upload them as VODs, but I'll make a playlist of all of my past live streams so you can go back and watch them. That sounds pretty good. I'll make a live stream playlist so you can go back and watch all of the old ones. That sounds good. That sounds like a good idea. Okay, anyway. The Chiefs came back and beat the Colts, unfortunately, in overtime. Now, I was hoping they would tie. Now, see, I don't mind that the Chiefs beat the Colts, because that prevents the Colts from being tied with us. All right. Although they would have been 9-2, because they are 8-3 right now, they would have been 9-2, but they would have been competing with us for the number 1 spot. And now I think we have the edge because they lost. But the Chiefs won. Would have been better off as a tie, because it's a win-win for the Pats. They both lose technically, but it's still going to be really tough for the Chiefs to make the playoffs. But a playoffs without the Chiefs would be amazing for the Patriots. Lowers the competition level, so it makes it easier for us to have a Super Bowl run. Seahawks beat the Titans. Pretty close game, 30-24, 6-point game, just like the Pats-Bengals game. What is it with good teams being close with bad teams this year? I'm not sure what that's about. But the Packers destroy the Vikings. Ravens are looking good now because Lamar Jackson is back. Okay, the Ravens are 6-5. 6-5 are the Ravens. And Lamar is cooking. Lions beat the Giants. That's another overtime game, too, this week. Lions beat the Giants 34-27. Jameis Winston is going crazy. Gunnar Olszewski threw a touchdown to him. Isn't that crazy? Gunnar Olszewski, he was a Patriot. Hello. Bears beat the Steelers. Caleb Williams cooking up a little bit. Putting Grandpa Aaron Rodgers to sleep. Browns beat the Raiders. Shedeur Sanders in his first ever start in an NFL game. Not his first time playing in an NFL game, but his first ever time starting in an NFL game. Threw 209 yards, touchdown, and a pick. Coach Prime was in attendance, if you didn't see his walkout, because the NFL posted that, I believe. Jags beat the Cardinals. That's another overtime game. Holy moly, there were a lot of overtime games. 3 this week. I thought there were only 2, but there's 3 this week. So Jags beat the Cardinals 27-24. Didn't know that. Cowboys came back to beat the Eagles 24-21. Wow. I'd hate to be 5-5-1. Ties just look so ugly on a record. They just look so bad. Falcons beat the Saints. 24-10. And the Rams beat the Bucks 34-7. The Bucks are kind of falling apart. Here. What's that all about? Baker. I think Baker Mayfield might have gotten hurt. I didn't watch the game, but I see on the stat sheet here, he was 9 of 19, 41 yards, touchdown, 2 picks, two times sacked. And then Teddy Bridgewater threw 15 passes, completed 8 of them for 62 yards, sacked twice as well. Looks like Baker might have gotten hurt, or maybe he was pulled from the game because they were doing so bad. That is horrible. That is horrible. Stafford, potential MVP, 25 of 35, threw for 273 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Rating of 122.7. That's pretty good. Tell you what, that is pretty good. Man, Stafford might actually win the MVP. He might actually do it. That'd be a shame for Drake Maye. But, the best player deserves to win it. And Stafford is playing really, really good football this year. And I'm actually curious to see his stats for this year. Let's see here. 2,830 yards, 30 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Holy moly. That's crazy. I want to see the last time he threw an interception. The last time he threw an interception was in week 3 against the Eagles, and they lost. Last time before that was against the Titans, but they beat them. But he's thrown over 2 touchdowns every game since the Jags, October 19th, where he threw 5 touchdowns in that game alone. So he is having a crazy season. Stafford, actually kind of deserves to win MVP over Drake Maye. As much as that hurts to say. But, it goes to whoever's playing the best. Jonathan Taylor still in the run, I think. Not too sure. But Stafford, what a season for him. But Drake Maye, hope he wins it. I really do hope he wins it. And he's got to just get in a rhythm earlier. And we really have to stop playing so bad in the first quarter. Playing so bad in the first few opening offensive and defensive drives. Because that's how you lose a football game. If you go up against a really, really good team who can capitalize on that, that puts them 1 or 2 scores ahead of us for the entire game. You can't have that in the playoffs. When it comes playoffs time, and every play matters, every drive matters, we cannot let up these lame touchdowns in the first opening drive. You can't have it, or the 3 and out, your first offensive series. You just can't have it. You have to capitalize. They have to do better as a whole, better as a team, to regroup after the first couple miscommunications, because of course you're going to have those. It is the NFL. You're going to have miscommunications. That's just the nature of football. But you have to be able to regroup. Drake Maye has to not become Mac Jones for a little bit. And I get it happens, right? You can only play so good for so long, for so many games in a row. Okay, some people do have off games, and he had a few off drives. So I'll give him a break. He's been playing really good. He's done a lot of great things for us this year. So I'll give him a break. But you just have to eliminate that. And who knows, the first couple drives, if you didn't play like that, first of all, you don't throw a pick 6. So minus 7 points for the Bengals. And maybe we score 7 points. Maybe we even score 14 points, extra points. So, who knows? I'm not a coach. I'm just talking. Hey, I'm talking here. Anyway, that is all. All until next week, next Tuesday. And I will see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in.